Straight out of surgery is probably the worst time. The scariest part is probably waking up. And if you can recall having the breathing tube in your mouth, then that's kind of scary because you gag on it and it's horrible. But from there, everything goes up. It's awesome because you can, in those initial stages, particularly that first sort of week, your progress is so quick that you can see it by the hour, by the day. And, within those hospital walls, you're just improving on yourself every single day. So you find that, whether it's for instance, I had fluid on my lungs, and reducing that fluid and walking more laps around the hospital was just the best thing possible, really. And I suppose when you get home, it's all up to you, and it's all about setting goals for yourself to improve every day. So I was at home for another month and a half, and that's where you kind of improve on your walking and your exercise. You see the changes in your mobility, especially raising your arms above your head and things like that. You find that you're less tired, you're less reliant on, painkillers and things.
Everyone has a different experience, but I woke up in ICU, I clearly remember, with a really sharp pain, right here on the back of the back, on the right side of the back, and a really severe pain. And so my recovery was quite different, I think, to I'm sure a lot of people have different complications, and I had pleurisy, they think it is, which lasted possibly 2 years, which is really rare. But my surgeon could hear that the pleurisy, it's the lining of the pleura around your chest lung cavity, was inflamed. So I think my recovery was quite slow and I was expecting to be back at work within 6 weeks, but it was 3 months later.
I was fortunate in that I was young. Being young is actually a positive in this area, and also I was fairly fit going into it. So my post-operation rehab went very smoothly, and I followed all the advice of the doctors, and you get this little handbook from the hospital that you follow, and you just do all the exercises. And I think the recovery is not only just physical but also mental. So I got to see some mental health people. Went to see the GP. GP was really important in this process for me, as well as obviously family and friends to sort of come around and give me some hugs and flowers and chocolates and all that kind of stuff. Although chocolates I can't eat anymore, so I had to give them away. But yeah, no, it was a very I had a very successful post-rehab recovery period. So I'm quite fortunate.
I have taken part in heart rehab. When I had my heart attack I think it was after 4 weeks, I was invited to attend. I learned a lot about good fats, bad fats, cholesterol, how to choose your food, tin food, processed food, how the heart works. That was amazing.
I did take part in a cardiac rehab program. It was 4 weeks with 2 sessions a week. As part of that program, we did do walking, running exercises. We'd get on a treadmill or a bike. We'd do really, really light weights, so 1/2 kilo, 1 kilo. And there was gradual improvement over the course of the rehab program. So, moving up in weight, moving up in walking distance, moving up in, RPMs on the bike and things like that. They did have some information sessions as well that you could take part in, and you could always ask questions about muscle soreness or sleeping patterns. So it was really, really good to have that resource available to ask questions and I suppose rebound some of the things that you're thinking and feeling and doing at the time. Make sure that everything's okay, that you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. We had an information session about calorie intake, salt intake, sugar intake, things to watch, serving sizes, making sure your plate's colourful, a little bit of general information on weight maintenance and weight loss. I felt well received, even though I was the youngest one there, and I was able to connect with a few different people of different age groups, which is useful, and you find out a lot about other people's heart conditions. But I was definitely the youngest one there, which is always interesting, but, it's fun. Why not?
I did not do cardiac rehab. I was actually not referred, which was a little bit disappointing reflecting on that, because I think it would have helped a lot. I was in the public system, and I was not offered that. I just got the book that you get with a few exercises to continue to do for the weeks following, and then it obviously tells you physical activity, a walk each day, and how long duration of that walk. I did myself meditation, and I kind of had to, because I was with the pain, I was on really strong painkillers, and so they kind of were sending me a bit loopy. And then I had a little bit of, it was quite severe anxiety post-surgery, because before the surgery, I wasn't thinking about the post and what was kind of happening. But then as time progressed and I healed and got better and stronger, I started doing yoga and things like that again to help my body, get stronger and in that recovery process.
I just went home and sort of took it upon myself to push myself to, I suppose, get in the right zone again. And obviously when these type of things happen, it does bring your, it does depress you a bit. You do get a little bit depressed, and rehabilitation with these kinds of things, it's more time. So time heals itself, and it's just you need to take it easy for a few months and then sort of slowly get back into it, like what I did when I was 16. So same kind of thing, really.
I don't think that initial phase for me was very good. I'd actually put that down to being quite a dark patch. That first 6 months, I didn't do very well at all. I was kind of just bottling it all up and just telling everybody I was okay and that I was fine. And I just put this brave face on because I didn't want my family to worry. I didn't want to be upset. And I just wanted the old me back. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. So it was a real dark patch. And I remember drinking quite a bit, not worrying about my diet, because in my head I was thinking, well, I can't train anymore. So what's the point? What's the point in eating well? Because I've been living off no calories before because it all had a purpose. And now that purpose was gone. The turning point for me is after about six to 9 months, I kind of just started seeking a bit of help. So I went to the GP, and because I was having a lot of troubles with depression at the time and anxiety. I was getting really anxious in various places, and I was still really struggling with my memory. And he referred me to a psychologist, and that I went through therapy for around 6 months, and that really changed how I was functioning in terms of depression and anxiety, and it was great to just get something off my chest. And I learned that I could actually tell people who were close to me that I wasn't okay, and being able to communicate that was brilliant. And I just had to get used to being a different guy as well, because heart disease, it's not something where you've got a cast on your leg or you're in a wheelchair. It's this silent thing, and when you're really struggling, it's sometimes hard to get across to somebody that's never understood. So I think, definitely seeking a bit of help there and actually meeting people in a similar situation was the real thing that helped me a lot further down that line.